Hey everybody, it is Prince's Friend. Today, we're doing the review, which is kind of a follow-up to yesterday's review, but it's for the beautiful experience, the movie. So this was like a really cool movie, right? It wasn't widely available, and I remember when it first came out, I remember I had it on VHS, but it was like super rare. I ended up paying a bunch of money for it, and I probably didn't need to pay that much money for it, but I don't know, it was hard to find at the time. And even when I went to try and find it for this review, I had it on my computer, but I'm having issues streaming it to my TV. So I was like, well, let me see if there's another version of it. And I remember it used to be on YouTube, but it's not anymore. That person must have gotten a couple strikes for that. So I just came and watched it on my computer since I already did have it. But it's cool though, right? It's essentially a concert movie. It's an excuse for Prince to get up and do his thing on stage, right? And he's an amazing live performer. And these weren't live performances, but it was still pretty awesome. The premise is pretty loose for the storyline, but I think it works pretty well. So basically it stars Nona Gaye, and we all know how beautiful she is, but she actually stars as the character Jen. This is the most generic name ever. And she is a woman who doesn't have a man, and nobody ever approaches her, and she doesn't think that she's beautiful. And I'm like, come on, Nona Gaye. Come on. Even not made up, you still freaking beautiful, and everybody knows it. So it was a little unbelievable there, but you know, movies, you have to suspend disbelief, right? The actual movie actually starts off the first line.
Thank God for peanut butter cookies.
And I do a little bit of screenwriting on the side. I don't know if y'all know that, but that's actually a really strong opening line. But then it's followed up by all that, but I'm not beautiful and all that stuff. And I don't know, it kind of loses its magic. Like if there was a nice monologue about peanut butter cookies and how they related to everything, it would be much better. But that's not really what we get. But basically, she sees an ad and it says, "Could you be the most beautiful girl in the world?" Which is awesome. It's another callback to that song. So she calls the number and they help her log onto her computer, and she gets to watch a performance from Prince called Interactive, and it's all about, you know, the new age and interact with the internet. And then she's charged $19.99, which was kind of funny. She's like, one song, that's a ripoff. So then she falls asleep, and then the rest of the movie is her kind of going through a dreamland, and she's on the screen in the music videos, but then she's also watching herself, and she's seeing how she can be more confident and feel more beautiful, and it kind of brings her through this whole journey. Prince kind of taunts her and makes her feel dumb and all that stuff, and it basically ends with the most beautiful girl in the world, where at the end he convinces her that she's beautiful, and it's amazing, and it's aww, you know, so it's great. So musically though, it actually brings us through a few songs. Obviously, Interactive was the first one, I did say that before, and this one wasn't really live. This one is actually the same recording from Crystal Ball, which will be great when we get to that as well. And Prince is wearing a big hat with a giant rose on it, and Maite's doing her dancing, and that's actually really cool. It's very strong, and there's visuals of monsters and cyclopses and stuff in the background. And I think that it's really well done. A lot of the videos for this are actually Prince just rocking out, Maite dancing, the band going crazy, Tommy Barbarella whipping his hair, because that's what he did. He just whipping his hair all day. So after Interactive, we get to Days of Wild, which I love that song, and this is actually a pretty good version of that. I prefer the version from Love From One Another. And then at the end of the song, he shaves Mr. Hayes' head on stage. I don't know, it's wild. And then we get Come, right? And it's a really cool kind of remix. It's more subdued. You should do that thing. Now will you cry? Than what we're all used to off of the actual album, and mixes some weird. The visuals are more they're all on stage with weird ritual masks and robes, and then there's fashion models walking around them. So I don't know what's going on here, but I really love this version of Come. Then Prince does Race, and this is actually the music video for Race, so it uses the exact track from the Come album for Race, but it actually comes even more in context because Nona Gaye, like a lot of other black women, don't believe that she was beautiful in this movie. No matter how beautiful she was, she didn't believe that she was. And it's because society has told black people, women especially, that they're not beautiful, and they've been told this for generations. Even other black people have told their daughters and their sisters and their moms that they're not beautiful. They're not as beautiful because they don't fit the beauty standard. If you ever get a chance to watch the documentary, it's called Black Girls. Oh man, if you will leave in tears. It is so heart-wrenching, but it gives you a better understanding of all of this craziness and what good hair means and like all of this stuff. I love it when they do stuff like that, and Prince is kind of putting that at the forefront here. Then we get to hear Acknowledge Me, which again, it's off of Crystal Ball. So remember, like, anytime I say it's off of Crystal Ball or it's something that comes later or whatever, like, this was where you heard it. There was no other place to hear it, and Acknowledge Me is one of those, and this is actually a slightly different version because at the end there's a little bit more guitar and stuff like that. Then it goes straight into Pheromone because Nona Gaye says,
"Surely you can find a better use for your hands than to taunt me, bastard."
And then of course it goes to Pheromone, of course, because that's what the song's about. And then Prince does the jam, and this is actually a song I love, right? Because it's an introduction to the band song.
Name is Morris, but we call him Mr. Hayes.
And it's actually really good, and he does it again on Love for One Another, which we'll get to in a little bit. He did a bunch of like little mini movies around this time. But it's great because he introduces each person, and they get a little solo, and it's awesome. And I have to give a shout out to Sunny T's braids in this because they are super long, and they look amazing. And then after that, they go into Shh. I like it. It sounds similar to the one that's on the Gold Experience in the end, but not exactly. But it's actually really good. I mean, I love that song. I mean, then we get another combo, and a lot of these songs are coming in like twos. Then we get another combo of Loose, which is, again, it's right off of Come. And then we get Papa, which is also right off of Come, and it kind of goes from like a super hyper dance mood to like down to a sad mood. But then, you know, Nona Gaye actually just asks straight up the question, what is the beautiful experience? And then that brings us to the video for Most Beautiful Girl in the World. It's the one that you can see on YouTube, and it kind of snaps for her, and it's just like, honestly, it's your dreams and your passions and you and your personality and what you love and all of these things, and that's what makes you beautiful. Also, your skin and how you take care of yourself and everything about you is what makes you beautiful. And then she gets it, and then she's beautiful, and it's awesome. And then at the end they throw Now on, which of course I love, but it feels like it was kind of tacked on at the end because like it's an awesome song, but they couldn't really fit it in anywhere. So Nona at the end kind of gets dressed sexy, and she's like, I'm gonna take charge of my beauty and let's do this. And so she goes and she jams out to Now. But like, I like the song, but really they should have probably just ended it with her watching The Beautiful Experience and realizing how beautiful she was, and then that was it. So just to speak a little bit about Nona's acting range, the voiceovers are a little overacted, but her faces, her emoting, she's pretty much on point. Like, she's actually a pretty darn good actress. She's really the only one I can remark on, like, how good they acted, because she's kind of the only star. Everybody else is just Prince on stage performing, and these are some amazing songs from this era. And again, so many of these songs you could not get anywhere except for in this special at this time, so that actually made this a very coveted video to watch. And of course now we can all just get whatever because it's the internet, but you just have to imagine a time where you heard that Prince thing existed, but you didn't have instant access to it. So yeah, so those are some of my thoughts on the Beautiful Experience movie. Hopefully you guys will share your thoughts on this movie with me down in the comments. Tell me what your favorite song is in the movie. Tell me what you think of the plot to the movie. And we should all just go over to Nona Gaye's channel and tell her how beautiful she is. But then after you do that, come back to the channel and we will have more for you later. Thank you very much for coming and watching, and may you live to see the dawn. And if you liked that video, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button down there. It's right in the corner. And also, there's other videos below me. Definitely check those out. Also, follow us on social media, and you can support the channel by visiting our Patreon or our Redbubble merch store. See you next time.